As the Lebanon front flares again, is Mujtaba's most dangerous ally now rolling out a new ballistic missile, signaling a sharper and more lethal phase of the shadow war with Israel? Just as US-Iran talks inch forward, has Tehran quietly handed Hezbollah a deadlier strike weapon, raising the stakes on the ground even while diplomats bargain at the table? Is Hezbollah now openly revealing Iran's Ababil missile, a rapid-fire battlefield killer seemingly aimed at punching holes in Israeli forces along the border? With 26 strikes claimed in just 24 hours, is Hezbollah opening a deadlier chapter in the conflict, using precision missiles and drones to push the confrontation toward full-scale war? As the Lebanon front heats up once again, Mujtaba's key ally Hezbollah has unveiled what appears to be a new missile threat, adding another layer of danger to the northern theater. Footage released by Hezbollah on June 13 appeared to show the launch of a ballistic missile, marking a visible escalation from the group's usual mix of rockets and drones. Military observers who studied the video said the weapon closely resembled Iran's Arman or Ababil missile, suggesting a direct link to Tehran's expanding arsenal. The clip purportedly showed the missile being used against Israeli positions in southern Lebanon on June 9, indicating that the system may already be in frontline service. The Ababil is described as a single-stage, solid-fuel ballistic missile, optimized for quick, short-notice strikes that give defenders very little time to react. Reports claim this may be the first operational use of Iran's Arman or Ababil missile by Hezbollah, signaling a new level of trust and technology transfer between Tehran and the group. Arman, also known as Ababil, is believed to be an Iranian short-range ballistic missile system designed for use in nearby theaters like Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon. It is a single-stage missile that uses solid-fuel propulsion, allowing it to be stored ready to fire and launched with very little preparation time. The system is designed for rapid battlefield strike missions, giving commanders the ability to hit targets quickly once coordinates are confirmed. Its primary role is to strike military targets such as troop concentrations, artillery positions, logistics hubs, and command posts behind the front lines. Mounted on mobile launchers, Arman Ababil offers improved mobility and survivability, making it harder for opponents to track and destroy before launch. The missile is associated with Iran's broader, expanding missile arsenal, which Tehran sees as a core pillar of its deterrence and regional influence strategy. Meanwhile, Hezbollah says it carried out 26 separate operations against Israeli forces in just 24 hours, indicating a sustained tempo of attacks along the border. The Iran-backed group claims it used both missiles and attack drones to target Israeli troops, vehicles, and equipment deployed near the front. Hezbollah further claims that its strikes hit Israeli artillery sites, military vehicles, and command centers, though these battlefield claims remain difficult to independently verify. According to these reports, the attacks focused on areas around Maid al-Zun, Bint Jbeil, and Maroun al-Raz, long known as flashpoints along the southern Lebanon frontier. The group also claimed that at least 2 Israeli soldiers were injured during the wave of operations, adding to the tally of casualties from the cross-border exchanges. Notably, fighting in southern Lebanon appeared to ease on Monday following the announcement of a US-Iran deal, suggesting that battlefield activity is now tightly linked to the diplomatic track. However, Israel has vowed that its military will remain in southern Lebanon for now, signaling that it has no intention of pulling back forces simply because talks have advanced. Israeli officials, including Israel Katz, have warned that the IDF will hit back hard if Iran uses Lebanon as a pretext or platform to launch fresh attacks on Israeli territory. Despite having launched the war in lockstep with the United States, Israel was notably not directly involved in the negotiations over the US-Iran deal, deepening a sense of strategic sidelining in Tel Aviv. The latest escalation also comes as Hezbollah released footage claiming to show the downing of an Israeli Heron 1 drone, a long-range reconnaissance platform central to Israel's surveillance over Lebanon's Bekaa Valley. The drone was intercepted above Nal in eastern Lebanon on June 11 while conducting a surveillance mission, indicating the strike occurred during routine monitoring and at a precise time and location confirmed by the group. Hezbollah said the aircraft was downed at 4 p.m. using an advanced surface-to-air missile, a claim that highlights both the timing of the engagement and the sophisticated weaponry the group asserts it employed. The group described the operation as a direct response to alleged Israeli airspace violations over Lebanon, framing the strike as a defensive measure intended to deter further incursions. Military media footage shows the drone being detected and tracked by surveillance systems before interception, providing a step-by-step visual narrative of how the engagement unfolded according to the released material. Visuals indicate the Heron 1 was flying at an altitude of nearly 7 kilometers, suggesting the aircraft was operating at high altitude typical for long-endurance surveillance missions when it was engaged. Thermal imaging footage captured the drone's movement moments before the engagement, offering infrared evidence of its flight path and the moments leading up to the missile strike. Video sequences include clear images recorded by the interceptor missile's onboard camera, providing a first-person perspective of the engagement that the group is using to substantiate its claims. The footage shows the exact moment the missile struck the Israeli reconnaissance drone, capturing the impact in real time and underlining the strike's claimed precision. Multiple camera angles document the unmanned aerial vehicle losing control and then crashing to the ground, offering corroborating views that trace the drone's descent from different perspectives. The Heron 1 is a strategic intelligence drone built by Israel Aerospace Industries, designed specifically for long-range surveillance and high-altitude reconnaissance missions. The aircraft is widely used for surveillance, intelligence gathering, and target acquisition, making it a key asset in modern battlefield awareness and operational planning. Close-up images in the video display debris recovered from the crash site in Lebanon, showing remnants of the airframe and components that the group says confirm the drone's identity. The footage ends with a bold message Heron 1 in the hands of the Islamic resistance, a closing declaration meant to emphasize the group's claimed success and political messaging. The closing slogan was displayed in both Arabic and Hebrew languages, signaling the group's intention to address multiple regional audiences and maximize the impact of the announcement. As Iran and Donald Trump edge toward a draft deal, hostilities have renewed on the Lebanon front, with fresh cross-border incidents reported along the border area. A suspected Hezbollah drone struck an Israeli military zone in northern Israel on June 12, according to the IDF, which described it as part of ongoing border tensions. The IDF confirmed that no injuries were reported following the drone impact near the Lebanon border area. Sirens were sounded across multiple towns in the western Galilee as the drone approached the area. The IDF added that a second suspected Hezbollah drone was intercepted over southern Lebanon before it could reach Israeli airspace. The army said the drone was downed over an area where Israeli troops are currently operating near the border. Meanwhile, Hezbollah said its fighters engaged Israeli forces advancing towards southern Lebanon in ongoing clashes. The group claimed it targeted troops near the border town of Maid al-Zoun with rocket barrages during the exchanges. Hezbollah said its operatives used light and medium weapons to force Israeli units to withdraw from forward positions. The group also claimed additional attacks on IDF positions across multiple frontline areas in southern Lebanon. Amid the fresh attacks, the IDF issued evacuation warnings for 3 villages in southern Lebanon as tensions escalated. Israeli leaders fear Donald Trump's emerging Iran deal could leave Tehran stronger while leaving Israel more exposed to future security threats. Senior Israeli officials said the emerging US-Iran agreement appeared to accept many of Tehran's key demands, according to a report by Channel 12. Officials said they believed Israel's core security concerns had not been adequately addressed in the proposed framework. Israeli sources argued that Iran was not agreeing to the framework for nothing, and stood to gain significant benefits from the arrangement. Officials warned that the agreement could undermine some of the strategic gains Israel believes it achieved during the recent conflict. Israeli officials also argued that the deal could help stabilize and rehabilitate the Iranian regime at a time of mounting pressure. Israeli officials said, and I quote, "This is the same framework as the agreement to end the war in Gaza. Ask yourself what has happened since then with the commitment to disarm Hamas. What will be the Americans' essential leverage if, after 60 days of a ceasefire, the Iranians do not begin the steps required of them? The credible military threat has been all but eroded. The uranium extraction has become uranium dilution, and the missile system is not part of the agreement at all. All the goals that Israel set are not immediately dealt with in the agreement. Not only is Iran not required to stop supporting proxies, it is reconnecting itself with Hezbollah through the agreement." Unquote. Amid growing concerns, Israeli media reported that Benjamin Netanyahu would convene the Security Cabinet to discuss the developing situation. The cabinet meeting is expected to focus on the implications and potential consequences of a possible US-Iran agreement. The reported criticism marks one of the sharpest Israeli reactions yet to Donald Trump's ongoing push for a peace deal with Iran.